Will, I have a question. Do you remember the weirdest place in which you have been living?
There's so many.
Give me one, please.
Okay, I won't call it weird. Unusual was in the desert.
Okay.
In Merzouga. It was in the northern part of Africa. It was my first time. There were a few Tuareg families that wanted me to. The Tuareg culture is very personal. So although I was out there, the family builds you a special tent for yourself. They're not like, come stay with us kind of culture. It's like, even they like you, but it's very separate kind of a culture. It's very defined in a certain way. So I was offered, the father and the brothers, they built me a very low tent, maybe just a couple meters high. But I didn't want to stay in there because, scorpions or something, you have to be careful. Scorpions are attracted to moisture. So if you're sweating, or if you leave a bottle of water next to you or something, you can get a bad surprise. So I decided to take my bedding and take it out of the tent and put it out on the ground, just looking at the sky. And I guess the interesting thing about sound, being a musician, is with sand, is how dense sand can be and how sound travels. It's almost like something really far away from you was really clear. Like I heard voices and people that were really far away from me, but without the wind blowing and without having water around, or without having cement, these kind of different environments, when it's sand, it's almost like a science lab and you can hear clearly things. And it was almost kind of disturbing because I said, I hear someone talking and so I know there's no one anywhere near where the place where I'm standing. That was interesting, just as an experience of hearing things. It almost like it almost feels like you have sounds in your head. But there are people talking, they're just really far away from you. And you don't think about how, just like in water, it travels obviously the fastest. And when you're in a pool, when you're a youngster or you're on the beach and you go in the water, you can hear somebody splashing. You hear something in the house, how direct the sound is. It comes right, it's like headphones, it comes right to you. And it's total darkness. With the moon lights up the whole area. There's no candles, there are no street lights. The only kind of strange thing that happens depending on the night is sometimes if you fall asleep in one section and then you wake up in the morning, your environment looks a little bit different because the wind changed the dunes. It changes how the sand with direction and the shapes. Mother Nature is really the most beautiful, powerful mystery, I think.
But how come you arrived there?
Well, I was doing my own trek to Timbuktu. It was my own experience with music, nature, research, having some free time and talking to a few people and wanting to really have this track. So I planned it, took this journey, and it was life-changing, very beautiful. All I can tell you is if you have the opportunity to go, it's bigger than dreams. So in terms of the project, I had an idea and I thought about at some point, not right away, that maybe you send me some movement or a sentence or some words or an idea, like a phrase, and then I send you a couple of seconds of sound that maybe coincide with that phrase or that idea. Okay. And start to have these kind of small, I think we should do it really small, a few seconds dialogue of, you might, and don't be afraid to send it in French and then maybe just send me the English definition on the bottom, because if I hear you say the phrase in French, it's gonna make me create another kind of a sound in a loop rather than it being in English. Okay. So just if you want to do a phrase in French, just let me know the definition and translation. But I would prefer to write the music to the French sound and phrase and meaning, because the culture is different from English culture. So I just want to try that as an exercise. Like, one word, or maybe you just do a movement on your phone, something in your apartment, and you do some kind of movement, and Will, here's 5 seconds, or just your hands, or just your feet, or just facial expressions, and try these little mini millisecond short bursts of creativity. And maybe we could see if a sentence can be made from that, maybe.
And can it be a picture also?
Yeah, of course. Any image, visual, language, or you may even just take a picture of the plant behind you and say, this is what I'm feeling right now. And I put some sound to this plant, or you make some breakfast, or you're in the park and there's a bench, or you go out and you show me how there's no one on the streets of Berlin, and show me an empty street or something along that line. And just, but I would say we don't have to go crazy with it. Maybe just, send me one or two things, and I just might say, okay, I'm going to make a little, we can keep it simple. I can just send you a little MP3 of something that I feel matches that image. Or it may be even simple. I can just record it even on my phone. I don't have to go through a whole recording studio situation. I might have a water drum or some kind of a jingle sound or something, and say, okay, here's a sound. And maybe doing it with the phone also, it could be cool for you to see the instrument and see how it's being played. So when is our deadline? May 1st? Okay, sorry, I shouldn't be recording this.
I will stop the recording anyway. I stopped the recording because now we have time. Attends.
Okay.